We are back after 2 months. You are back with Derailed, with Archaic Skids. We're going to talk to Gen Z over here, two nerdy little rodents that are, I don't know, I think they're 16. One is, I don't know about the other one.
This one.
But we do have a neo-Nazi and a Jew. I'll let you two figure out which one is which. I don't think that'll be difficult in this conversation. We're going to talk about all of the subjects over the last 17 months since, the government decided they were going to run the world over some nonsense disease, pandemic situation. And then we will answer the most fundamental question of the last 5, 6, maybe 10,000 years. Is water wet? Because it's important, it's philosophical, and both of these people are nutbags that have fought about it for 2 years, so I figure we'll settle it here. With us today, we have my son, baby Archaic Skids, who is kind of a pain in the ass, and his not very Jew-looking buddy, Vincent. What's up, guys?
Hello. We'll let you figure out who's who.
And
I think I just gave it away.
You kind of undersold it on the kind of an asshole part.
Ah, maybe.
Well, now
Maybe
you gave it away. Now they know.
No, I totally gave it away anyway when I said doesn't look much like a Jew. I mean, that was completely on me there. But realistically, blonde hair, blue eye, brown hair, they would know. They'd be like, I mean, how do you think Hitler knew? No blonde Jews ever got killed. That never happened.
That's true. I don't think blonde Jews have ever existed.
Okay, well, this started off in some kind of a manner. All right, but for real, so you guys, I hate that term Generation Z. Just
I do too.
makes me think of that stupid movie with Brad Pitt where I'm like, everyone's going to die. This is how this ends. Like, there's no way we're going to survive.
Because this is how this ends.
Yeah.
This is the last generation
This
of
is the
human
end?
society.
Isn't there a movie like it's called This Is the End?
Yeah, it's that one about like Judgment Day with Seth Rogen.
Just a
No.
bunch of celebrities.
Seth Rogen is a progressive piece of shit that ought to be drowned in a river somewhere. Or we can just take him to Japan before we execute our plan that we were talking about.
Fair enough.
Anyway, maybe not Tokyo. Tokyo might be fun.
We'll keep
Tokyo
Tokyo
is
as a little
cesspool.
island.
Tokyo is a cesspool of Japan. I think that needs to go first.
I think that's the only one that needs to go out.
I mean, I would make the argument at one point Germany was a cesspool, and then when someone tried to do something about it, everyone stepped in. They're like, what are you doing?
I know.
Just kidding. All right.
He was really just trying to make Germany a safer place.
Just safer out there for the white folk that are oppressed.
Yeah.
All right, but for
And
real.
then the commies had to ruin everything for everyone, like they always do.
Damn commies. Which is what this entire holiday that we celebrated today, Labor Day, that's just a communist holiday for laziness and uselessness. It's not capitalistic.
I'm pretty sure every Labor Day I've spent in bed doing nothing.
Which is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Although not very far north of me, they were having massive protests over living wages. And I'm like, so on your commie holiday, you're going to talk commie nonsense? That's fun.
It's the
Anyway,
perfect day.
That said, what are your thoughts on COVID, gentlemen?
COVID. Definitely. Was once an issue, but it was completely taken out of proportion to control people.
Nazi, your thoughts?
Honestly, at a certain point, old people become useless, so who really cares for them? And the little kids haven't grown up enough where they're any use to society, so
Little kids aren't dying.
I don't
that's made
really
up.
care. I don't really know why people cared at any point. And the people with weak immune systems are just detriment to the society. They're the I think we really need to build a society
Been fun,
of
YouTube.
stronger people.
Enjoyed it.
We need a society of stronger people through breeding
Have you
selectively.
ever heard the term strong men make good times make weak men,
Yeah.
weak men make
Yeah.
bad times make strong men.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of feel like COVID's doing that.
hopefully.
Like, wow, I mean, not necessarily because that generally leads to some kind of a world war. But
Listen,
one thing that I just saw recently, and I think I already know how my son would respond to this, but we'll ask his buddy. The Chinese government has now banned effeminate men from their networks. So basically, if you're a Nancy boy, you're not allowed on TV anymore in China. Which I don't know who dictates Nancy boy, but it makes it very hard to not be mad at China all the time.
You know, completely reasonable. Don't want those people being seen in general, even in America.
honestly, maybe China's not so bad.
Cyber attacks. I can look past that. Just as much.
Vincent, you got to get closer to the microphone. You're being too quiet.
I'm sure even the devil had one good thing.
What do you mean the
No one
devil
can
had
sin all
one
the
good thing?
Hitler's was eugenics. That was a really good idea.
I don't know that I'm gonna agree with that. You sociopath. All right.
If only Hitler won, we would not have Gen Z.
That's true. We probably wouldn't have anything at this point.
We'd have strong
There'd be
men.
like 5 Norwegians that lived in a cave somewhere. That's it.
I don't get why we don't raise our kids like the Romans used to. Just throw all the babies out.
That's
of
the
any sort.
Spartans.
That's
That was the Spartans, not the
It's
Romans.
the Spartans.
They would just well, actually, that
This-
can bring us to a point that's
I
happening
think-
in today's news. Apparently, Texas is passed some sort of a law that makes it where women can't just inspect their child and throw it off a cliff. So, thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if it's a boy, then yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. But if it's a female, I think you should be able to kill it up to 18.
That's essentially what the Chinese have done, and look at how nutbag crazy they went.
But
There
they
ain't enough-
banned gay people.
there's not enough
They can't be
ladies.
that bad.
No. In China, gay people don't exist.
First of all, we don't call them gay people. We call them the alphabet people. Let's keep this thing in order. Sheesh. No, but for real. So, as far as let's go back to the pandemic scenario. They went nutty. And one of the things that I found interesting is they closed all the schools. Now I can imagine that my son was a big fan of that because he was like, schools are stupid anyway. But now I know not where you guys are, but a lot of places are like, well, you have to have a mask. If you're over 16, you got to get the Fauci juice. You know, you go get your Fauci ouchie. Like, I mean, I don't know. Thoughts on that? Would you wear masks at school if they told you had to? Or would you be like, or?
Well, considering they made us when school came back, I did. I mean, even then, I don't think they really understand what masks are because I saw people with a mask around their chin and they counted it as wearing a mask. So, who really
I mean, it
knows?
probably did the same amount of good.
Yeah. Could wear it around your wrist as a bracelet.
So
They would treat it the same.
So you did wear it when you first went back?
So they didn't kick me out, yeah.
Goddamn communist. Thought I raised you better.
Oh, well.
mask around my eyes as a blindfold forever. Whenever.
There's a company called Fake Mask USA, and they're not a sponsor, but I like to shout them out because it's hilarious. Like it's basically like those stupid pantyhose things that girls wear. You know what I mean? You could like see right through it, and it like totally does absolutely nothing. Which they disclaim. They're like this thing does nothing,
Yeah.
but it does pass the mask test as far as
Nice.
all the regulations. So they're like, you should totally buy ours instead. And then they massively overcharge for it. So capitalism always wins. That's nice.
That's
You
what's up. Yeah.
It's like here's a fish net wrapped around your face. You're welcome. I mean, wear the face diaper, but make sure you can breathe through it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what they say? If it's good enough for the red.
Yeah, that works. All right, all right. So, what do either one of you, know about Australia?
They lost the war to emus, to just a bunch of birds.
They're
They didn't lose the war to
they're
birds. It's not
head of
birds.
parliament. What's head of parliament? Prime minister. Their prime minister. He sucks. They were on fire.
She. Their prime
There's a
minister
new
is
prime
female,
minister.
and it's a female.
It's
Much worse than the male one was.
yeah. No wonder everything's going to hell.
That's not what I meant, but I do think it's funny that he's like, yeah, they lost a war to animals. So just saying.
That should tell you well enough.
Well, here's the thing: you don't disarm your population and then start a war with anything because you're gonna lose. Like
you'd lose a war against rocks.
Don't tempt them; they will. But no, what my perspective, or what the real question there was, prior to all this nonsense, if you thought about Australia, what would cross your mind?
Tyrannical.
Upside down people.
No. Before this, Vincent, you're not listening. Before this, all this COVID nonsense, what would have went through your head, thinking about Australia?
Crazy upside down people.
Funny poisonous animals that will kill you in one bite.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was looking for, because that's what's the most confusing about all of this nonsense in Australia right now is I'm like, every time you go outside, 500 million things are going to try to kill you.
I've seen
and they all can.
I've seen 5 videos of kangaroos just jumping into windshields.
That's where I'm.
Is it weird that you kind of want to put them on repeat and just keep watching them?
I see
that happen.
They're all 5 videos were the exact same thing. Kangaroo comes out, stands in front of the road, jumps into the car, and then the Australian person cusses a lot in their broken English accent. Can you believe there's an Australian Google? That's how bad they've broken English. I've been saying this. Australian people are just British people, but they went back in the evolution tree.
Maybe so. Okay, I get that. All right, next question. You're both internet kids, so to speak.
Unfortunately.
What are your favorite internet videos to watch?
Number 1 has to be Nyan Cat. Number 2 has to be Peter Griffin falling up the stairs from Peter Griffin Funny Moments, number 59. That's definitely up there.
Okay.
What are some of yours?
His is like Minecraft. I already know this. It's like, I like to watch other people play Minecraft and scream.
Whatever is slightly entertaining. Whatever passes the time.
Do both of you have TikTok?
Yeah.
Rarely ever use it though.
I watch really stupid people make really bad jokes and laugh at it.
So my favorite thing on the internet to watch now is the Russian uh their dashboard cameras. And just watch all the crazy stuff. I'm like, man, you think America's bad? Whoa. Just watch these nutbags. Like and
Russian people
that,
are insane.
oh, dude, they are art in motion. I don't know what you're talking about.
They are art in motion.
Yes. Like, I just recently learned that in Russia, you are required to have a dashboard cam. And
Really?
yes, it's by law. If you don't have one, like, you can go to jail or the gulag or whatever they call it.
Oh,
Or
wow.
whatever Australia calls it now, like COVID camps or something. I don't know. Anyway, no, but you are legally required to have, if you have a vehicle, you have to have a dashboard cam. And when I first heard that, I thought, wow, that is draconian and nightmarish. Then I watched these videos and I'm like, we should absolutely implement that. I'm not a big fan of government or laws, but that's one we should all be able to get behind.
That would be really cool.
I think
There's
it'd
not
be
enough
hilarious.
people being really stupid recorded. I want to see even more of it.
Yes. Yes.
Because people
big
will do
fan.
the most ridiculous. I saw this one video where a guy, they're like on a highway and a guy pulls in front of the guy in the truck, and it's him and his friend, and the guy just pulls out his 9mm and starts shooting through the windshield at the car that pulled in front of him. And his friend is in the other seat like, bro, chill out, bro. And he doesn't have one hand on the wheel. He's leaned back in his chair like this, hand on Glock.
Nice. Well, I mean, see, things like that I feel like should be on film. Always.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
as a person that doesn't support laws generally or any government overreach, I kind of feel like that one, that's more a common good than healthcare for all would be.
I agree.
Like, don't want to die, don't be like these people.
There's this other video that's been around for a little bit, but it's like this guy, and the guy who was recording apparently was the jackass, and he like pulled in front of him and like just being a horrible driver, and the guy had a kid in the car, so he got out at this traffic light and started yelling at him through the window. And the last seconds of the video is the guy recording saying, "Is that all?" And in the last frame, the guy punches the window and shatters it.
That's funny.
I gotta put this on the charger.
Oh no, it's gonna die. That's why you gotta hardwire.
I could have it like
car,
this.
What is happening? Don't do that. That's creepy.
I don't know how I'm supposed to charge. There are plenty of iPhone chargers out there. They're very cheap, so I really don't care if this one breaks. They're fine.
I took your friend camping last year, which he thoroughly enjoyed.
You got one of the worst tents, and we went camping at one of the worst possible times.
Like I said, he thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good. What are you doing?
I'm trying to balance this.
Like, you are never going to be a director of any film because everyone will be like, "What is happening?"
I don't care if my phone dies. It'll be fine. Just gonna put it on the lowest. There we go.
It won't be fine if your phone dies, you nerd. Plug it in. What are you doing?
I did plug it in, and I'm trying to balance it on the charger so I don't have to flip my phone upside down. But it just wasn't working.
Well, then you just suck at this. How is it that you two are so technologically ill-advanced?
Brain rot.
Brain
Too
rot
much
from
internet.
video games. Call of Duty ruined us.
Dude, you say what you want. Call of Duty prepared me for the road.
Okay, sure.
My split decision choice making is perfect.
Yes, you're right. 100%.
Especially in Kingman, when everyone decides to pull out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a useful skill to have.
Nice. All right. Since apparently your phone's gonna die, we're going to
No, it's fine.
Okay,
This
we're
phone will last like an hour on 10.
I guess we're gonna shift now from COVID stuff because you guys don't actually know anything about it, and we're gonna go to philosophical questions.
Oh God.
Very important, life-altering questions that must be answered. And since you're the future of America, which is terrifying, we're going to get your responses to a couple philosophical questions. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. First and foremost, this isn't so much philosophical as scientific. Did humans exist when dinosaurs did?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
How
there's
do you
ever.
explain the human bones that were found with dinosaur bones?
Were
This
they?
happened
Were
like
they?
3 months ago. Yeah.
Well, you can like analyze the age of human bones to
Not when
know,
they're mixed
right?
together. Like I'm pretty sure a dinosaur ate a human. Or humanoid.
Humanoid.
Well, some form of a human. There's apparently a bunch of them. Been around a long time. They keep changing. I don't know.
Yeah, those like that new subspecies.
The dragon
Chimps that
people.
could talk. You know what I mean?
Remember that school that was found in
Oh, yeah.
China?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they called them. They called them dragon people.
That's true. Which did not help with all the conspiracy theorists on Reddit when they were like, "Told you lizard people were real." It's like, no, calm down.
It's Reddit. You don't listen.
I
to those
wish
people.
lizard people were real.
I do too, and I wish they lived under the Denver airport because that would be great. You know,
Just
like
waiting for the day Mark Zuckerberg closes, like blinks sideways.
Zuckerberg is an absolute alien. I don't care what anyone says.
He's not.
Nobody
human.
drinks water like that. That's not.
He's not human.
He's not human. It's not possible. Either he's a cyborg, and he's the founder of Skynet, or he's an alien. That's just maybe he escaped from underneath the Denver airport, and now he's loose on the world. And what's terrifying is that he's one of the richest people imaginable. So now he's like, now I get to enact my lizard plan. So that's terrifying.
Or maybe this is all just a simulation.
He's just a giant water-cooled PC. Funny thing is that was actually the first time he drank water in 3 months.
Yes, and that's why he didn't remember how to do it. He was like so confused. He's like, "Wait, does this go in my mouth?" Or because normally I just go.
He absorbs it through his pores. He just pours it on his arm, and it cools him off.
That's actually how I drink water. I just pour it on my arm, and then I'm like, "Oh, now I'm hydrated. This is fun." You know?
Are you a plant?
Yes. Basically, I'm a plant. Hey, maybe that's it. Maybe Zuckerberg's a plant. We don't know.
It's just a big Venus flytrap.
Yes, exactly.
His head opens up and catches things.
Catches things like parlor and he feeds on the weakness of others. Okay. Legit philosophical. Well, no. Historical question. Did the Great Wall of China protect China? And is that why they are now a 3,000-year-old dynasty?
I mean, didn't do very good against the Mongols.
Fair enough.
But maybe, I mean.
So what you're saying is all the Mongols had to do was figure out how to climb? And then there was game, set, match?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
How to build the most advanced tool, the ladder.
All right, you're Gen Z people. Should we build a wall from sea to shining sea on all of our borders? Because this whole southern border thing, sure, fine, whatever. But I think the Canadians are even more dangerous because they're super socialist.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I think we should have helicopters patrol the border, and if they see anyone, they just shoot them.
KOS.
That seems like overkill. slightly, but I mean, I'm a big fan of the
The
idea of like
Mexicans.
moats, landmines, sniper towers,
Yeah.
dogs, and if you make it all the way through all of that, it's
They-
not even
yeah.
a passport. You're just a citizen.
Yeah, I agree. You have to earn your right to be an American.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to take a test. Like
How about
you're obviously someone we want. Would you like to join the military
check this out? We do that.
and learn about white rage?
Well,
I
I think
we should do that, but any white European is immediately an American citizen. No reason. I
mean,
feel like
white people?
Nice.
You just really like white people. You think that there should be like we're all equal in the eyes of God, but there should be a nation that's primarily white people, and obviously it would be the best nation.
And less black.
Germany in the 1940s.
Yeah, because that went well for him until all
Yeah.
the other white people attacked him.
Because they were jealous.
I think we should do with our
because they were jealous.
what I think we should do with our southern border is just take all the people that want to come in and have like a giant competition, either like a good old Colosseum battle between all of them, or just see who can like say the funniest joke. Just make it
I'm liking
really
where this is
fun
going.
without it.
We just like straight up turn this into Survivor.
Either say a really funny joke that makes us laugh, or you go to the Colosseum and fight for your right to be an American.
I kind of feel like we should do that with prisoners too, but only violent criminals. Like all the non-violent ones shouldn't be in prison.
Ted Bundy should have been available to have a wrestling match with Khabib.
Jesus.
Ted Bundy, the head border patrol agent.
It would have like
Just
so
with all
I
the
was having
women.
this conversation. I want you guys' opinion on this. I was having this conversation with someone and they said something along the lines of like, as times change, you know, we've become less violent, blah, blah, blah. And that's all kind of technically true. But I was like, all right, fine, fair. But if we had like the Roman Colosseum, like if I was like a producer of something and there was no nonsense and I could just do it and I could have fights to the death like the Colosseum, and I started to promote it. Like, we're going to take all these people for whatever reason, and we're going to throw them in a cage match to the death. You know what I mean? Then, you know, it would get good ratings. And they're like, I don't think that's true. And I'm like, it would break every pay-per-view record in the history of ever. And everyone you talk to would be like, oh, I'll never watch that. And then they would pay $99.99 to watch that. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Definitely not.
And just to be perfectly honest, I'll actually admit I wouldn't even say I wasn't going to watch. Of course, I'm going to watch. I want to watch a tiger eat a human in a Colosseum. Of course, I do. Why wouldn't I? It's just nonsense to be like, I wouldn't want to see that. Yes, you do. That's why those videos go so viral on the internet, like that what was it? That leopard that caught that alligator or whatever. Come on now, you want to watch this stuff. If that was like a human and it was dragging it through the water, you'd be like, well, don't go to that part of the world. It's dangerous.
Teaches you something.
A really good idea is just to have like the Olympics, the Paralympics, and then there's the crack Olympics where everyone's just shot up on every drug imaginable and just put them in.
You got regular, paraplegic, and then steroid Olympics. But what would be really funny is if you put the steroid Olympians against the paraplegics.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the start of Hunger Game movies?
Yeah.
The cornucopia.
They look exactly like that.
That's kind of what the entire world looks like right now. Is the start of a Hunger Games movie.
Like this big 6-foot steroid guy filled with meth sees like one of those women like with those small legs, just picks them up and
Yeah, I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier today, and he mentioned the fact that he was like 6'6". This is an online conversation, and I told him that he couldn't be trusted because of his height, and he was like, I don't understand, and I'm like, David and Goliath, bro. Like, obviously, giants can't be trusted. We have to like throw rocks, and then we have to hope that they hit in the right spot, because otherwise you're gonna rip our arms off and beat us to death with our own limbs, and that's just not good. You know. And he was like, well, my brother's 6'7", and I'm like, less trustworthy then. The bigger, less, obviously trust goes down. And he goes, well, I mean, but he's a cop. And I'm like, what? Now you just completely ruined it. Like, he's a bad person who can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Giants can't be trusted. This is a fact. This is a philosophical question. I'll ask both of you. Can giants be trusted?
No.
No.
No, because they're going to
At a
squanch
certain
you
point,
the moment you get out of line.
Exactly.
Yeah, giants shouldn't be trusted.
He's 6'3".
Then-
See, I feel like Hitler had it wrong. He was after the wrong people.
You have to be 6'5" to be considered giant.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's a lot of people that are 6'5", and none of them are trustworthy. None of
The
them.
entire NBA would be shut down.
The entire NBA would be in a camp.
I think they should be shut down for other reasons.
It would be for their own safety, that kind of camp.
Of course.
Although I'd still let them play the redacted ball on television. Just the rules would change. Like there would be no refs, and it'd be full contact.
Yeah.
But
And
get the ball in the
there would
basket.
And conveniently, there would be very heavy blunt objects hidden under things.
That's true, and also
That ball is filled with lead.
if you basically really were not good at it, we'd have a different term for when you got cut.
Let's just say if you score a basket, the other team gets a man cut.
Yes, I like it. I feel like we should be able to run the world. I think we do a better job.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
the world would be really fun.
Nothing else, it'd be more entertaining. All right, we're half hour in. We're gonna need some time because we're gonna ask the question.
I don't know.
The question, the philosophical question that has just driven people nearly insane for 10,000 years.
I'm on the camera.
What is happening?
Just don't mind it. Just keep talking.
It's a nice roof. It's got popcorn ceiling. That's always nice. Just keep talking.
Good one.
Flop, flop, flop. Camera out, camera on. Uh-oh.
Good one.
Dude, you're kind of failing at this game, man.
Really awful.
It's going really, really awful. You're doing a very bad job at this.
Aiden.
Now you can't be seen.
No, Aiden, let's.
Put it there, bro. What if?
Smartest man alive.
Yeah, sure.
First good idea. And
Hey, speaking of, shit, what was the name of that? I watched this really weird movie the other day, like 2 days ago. It's called The Nines. Have you seen that?
The what?
The Nines. That's the
No.
name of the movie. It's called The
I don't know
Nines.
what that is.
It's got Ryan Reynolds in it.
I watched the Ryan Reynolds movie. We watched the Free Guy.
Nice. Well, anyway, he's in this movie, and it's super weird because it separates stuff into categories of their level of ability, and so humans are 7s, but Ryan Reynolds a 9, and so he can basically it gives you the idea that he created Earth and all that to escape some nonsense that he was struggling with or whatever. It's super fucking weird. You probably shouldn't watch it. Neither one of you have the brain capacity to understand it, so never mind. All right. So, this is just a question for your buddy there, because you know, we're asking the philosophical questions.
Yep.
Christianity or Judaism? Which one's correct?
Christianity.
He's
Oh,
lying.
bad Jew.
He just wants to be liked.
I just want to be liked. Please just thumbs up my video. No, but for real, or like, were you just like born a Jew, or is that like, do you go to whatever
I
nonsense?
think he's like 5% Jewish.
I was just born Jewish from my mother's side.
Oh, so
no.
like half a Jew?
He's apparently more African than he is Jewish.
That is in fact true.
But
What
you're
kind
not
of
black,
African?
So
Elon Musk African.
Elon Musk is a fake African.
Did you ever see when Elon Musk said that he was more African American than the black people in America? He
No.
tweeted that, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's very true.
It is, because like he was actually like legit born in Africa. Granted, in white people Africa.
Yeah.
But, you
South Africa.
The only Africa that's
Isn't it funny that South Africa, not North Africa, is where the white people are?
That is really funny.
All right. Moving on. Little nightmare. This is an important question because someone's going to want to know. What's the new best video games? Top 3.
None of them.
No recent ones. Persona 5 Royal is pretty good.
Okay, fine. I'll ask a different question. Destiny 1 or Destiny 2? Which one's better?
Okay, so me as a Destiny connoisseur,
Destiny
I'd say Destiny 2 overall is more of a better game than Destiny 1, but Destiny 1 it's just filled with nostalgia, so it's always going to hold that place, but Destiny 2 is just overall the better game.
Destiny, okay, first of all, let me be completely blunt with you. You're wrong. Destiny 1 is obviously the better game, because Destiny 1 gave you hope. Like, at some point, you're going to make things better. Destiny 2, it's been like 9 years. The city's a little bigger, but all they do is like, everything's worse. Like, we're failing.
The game is worse.
Humans fail.
Yeah, that's really it.
Like,
the whole game is them talking about the good times.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's like
it's stupid. Destiny 2 is just garbage. I mean, I'll say it this way: the story is absolute garbage. You're like, oh great. So
all Destiny 1 had.
All I'm doing is
Taken
playing this
King.
game so that I can get murdered at the end. That's cool.
All Destiny 1 had was Taken King.
Whatever.
That's all that was.
There was hope.
That's the only good one.
There was hope.
Destiny 2 is so bad.
All right. How about Red Dawn or Red Dead Redemption?
That's really
Which one's better?
What? Red Dead Redemption or what?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. Which one? 1 or 2?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wrong.
You haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2. No, you
I
have.
played it when you were here, you dork.
You barely played it.
You're nostalgia ridden. Nostalgia is just filling your brain with nonsense.
I'm old. What do you expect?
Dude, Red Dead 2 is...
All right, but for real, what's the? All right, I'll ask each one of you this question: what's the best video game either one of you have ever? What's your favorite one? The one you can go back to anytime.
Stupid Japanese JRPG. Little Persona. There's a 15-year-old girl in there.
I'm not asking you his. I'm asking you yours. What's yours?
What's mine?
Yeah, what's yours?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I have like top 5 games that I all enjoy, but I don't know how to rank them.
I know you said Ghost of Tsushima was like your second.
Ghost of Tsushima, God of War 2018, Red Dead 2.
Watch Dogs Legion number one.
No. Those are like my 3 favorite games, I guess. Now.
What's yours, Vincent?
So my favorite multiplayer game
What's your favorite game of all time?
of all. Well, I have
Yeah, go ahead.
different ones in different categories.
No, just the favorite game of all
No,
time.
no, no, just one. Just what's the
one?
one?
What's the one your of all time? Like out of all of them,
Like if they said we're gonna take every single video game on Earth and it's gonna be gone, and you only get to pick one, what's the one?
Half-Life 2.
Okay, see, at least he has an answer, which means obviously his brain works better than yours.
my brain is too complicated. Okay.
Complicated, right?
Simple. Whoa, shoot gun, alien. Reflex is his favorite.
I mean, you know, video games are just
Favorite game
designed
right
for you
now?
to shoot shit, obviously.
His favorite
And
game.
by the way, you're all wrong because the greatest game ever was Oregon Trail. Obviously.
Remember
Oregon Trail is one of those fun games for old people because like they can get really high or drunk and they'll be like, I'm pretty sure I have dysentery. And their friends are like, no, you don't. Like, stop it. Like,
I'd say for old people, their most favorite game
Candy
is
Crush.
not Candy Crush, Sudoku on Windows 7.
nobody played Sudoku. That's not
Everyone. Purple Place and Sudoku on Windows
No.
7.
It's only Candy Crush. If you're above the age of 50, you're playing Candy Crush.
I have Candy Crush on my phone
Slot
and I'm not
games on your
50.
phone.
I know.
That's funny. There was this weird game that I remember I used to have, but I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a little stupid puzzle game, and you had to like get the guy through the haunted forest and all kinds of crap. And figure out if you're supposed to use a club or a candle, or it was dumb. Hugo, that's what it was called. Game was called Hugo. It was like everything was like green and black. That's how old this thing was. You played it on a computer, like DOS 4 or whatever.
I remember this one game that I used to play on the computer. It was like a game where you build up a town and you just like trade. There weren't like any enemies. And I remember I never understood how to play it.
It was called Civilization,
No.
Empire,
When Age of Empires? I don't think so.
Age of Empire, 1602.
I don't know. I remember there was a pirate mode.
Wizards
When,
101
when
and
you
Pirates
and
101.
Josh lived together. When you, Josh, and Sarah all lived together, you guys had it on that computer in the kitchen.
1602 AD. That's what you were playing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know so. That's the one. Like, because that's one of my favorite computer games ever. 1602.
I remember.
You don't go through like in Civilization where you like advance in Age of Empires. You advance and like next thing you know you're like traveling the stars or whatever. No, 1602. You're just like, I am the God King Emperor of the planet. Bite me. It's fun.
I remember trying to
All right. Do you both have your COVID vaccinations and your COVID passports?
No.
Nope.
Why not? What are you doing? What, do you
Don't
hate
wanna.
grandma? What are you trying to kill the grandmas? What are you doing?
It's not like they're doing
Grandma
much
don't
anything
live.
anyway.
Jesus Christ. They're obviously old. If Aiden's grandma dies, he's gonna have to live with me. And that's gonna make his life suck.
She's healthy.
So,
She's
He
real
should probably
healthy,
think about that.
She's fine.
Did she get her vaccination and her COVID passport?
No.
Why did I already know the answer to that?
I don't think I've met one.
All right, cool. Your battery's gonna die eventually, so we're gonna ask a
No, I'm
question.
not. We're fine.
No. We have to ask a question. Oh, good. Well, we still have to ask the question. It's philosophical. It's been plaguing the planet for tens of thousands of years. We will start with Vincent. Is water wet? And if so, why?
So my reasoning for water being wet is if you have a wet rag and you have a dry rag, the wet rag and you put the wet rag on top of the dry rag, once you take it off, the dry rag will now be wet or damp or anything. So my reasoning is something needs to be wet in order to make other things wet, meaning water is wet.
Fair enough. Aiden, is water wet?
I don't want to have a semantics argument.
It's not semantic. It's philosophical.
That's exactly what you said. You said my argument was all about semantics.
Is water wet?
Only God knows.
No. Chicken Little. All right, fine. Then philosophical. Is God real?
I don't know.
Yes, I'd say so.
You don't know? Then how do you know if water's wet when you say only God knows? If God's not real, how would God know? What do you mean?
Creator knows. The almighty creator.
The runner of the simulation.
Yeah, the simulation coder knows.
See, that is a nonsense argument that people make. Like, oh, maybe we live in a simulation. And I'm like, who would design
we're all
that
just free
simulation?
guys.
And they're like, a programmer. And I'm like, wouldn't that be a creator?
Listen, I have to agree with that because I guarantee you, like 90% of people you'll meet in your life and see are all NPCs. None of them are real.
Oh, you're very generous. You say 90%. I would go so much higher than I'd be like 98.5%.
I swear to God, there are like 10,000 unique individuals in this world. Everyone else is just NPCs. They're all the same.
Well, see, this is the issue that the Libertarian Party has always had: is they assume people want liberty. They're wrong. No, they don't.
They're AIs. They don't know what they want.
They're
They
like,
just run loops.
I just want to not have to put up with anything, and like, I just want to just get my tomato brioche avocado toast and like,
All they want is to
whatever.
eat, sleep, and work. Eat, sleep, and die.
No. The work part you're wrong about. They want to
Yeah.
eat, sleep, and do something else, but
Eat,
you know,
sleep, and die pretty much.
Mhm.
they're like, work is something we will do if you make us, but that's
Like-
really not in their top 5.
You're right about the 98% of people being NPCs, because like explain the last time you remember your neighbor like bringing in groceries or anything like that.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
It's never happened.
They don't eat. They're just NPCs.
They walk out their door, slide through their car door, and just slither to work. That is all they do.
And as soon as they get in the
So-
house, they sit
So
down and watch it.
let me get this straight. You don't think that your neighbors buy groceries?
Dude, listen. I'm not saying anything, but I've never seen it happen.
I didn't see it, so it never happened.
If I don't see it, I don't believe it.
Okay. What?
Listen, you cannot provide a good argument that my neighbors don't just go into their house and sit on the couch until it's time to go to work in the morning.
I did actually have a conversation with someone one time where they told me that the electricity is just in the wall.
What?
Yeah, we were having a conversation about supply and demand, and that's why like inflation's real and we're starting to see shortages of stuff because supply and demand of the whole 15 days 19 months ago to slow the spread like was gonna be problematic. It was going to be problematic if it would have just legit been 15 days, but instead it was, I don't know, what's it been, 17 months or whatever. And I was like, that's a problem. There's going to be shortages. I was like, eventually those shortages are going to hit you where it hurts. You know, it won't be that you can't get your coffee mate creamer. It'll be like electrical outages, you know?
Yeah.
And they were like, what do you mean electrical outages? And I'm like the electricity will turn off. And they were like, but the electricity is just in the wall. And I was like, I don't know what's happening right
You know what you should do? You should have told them to punch their wall and see if they get zapped.
now. See if the electricity
Put a
fights
hole
back.
through your wall, and you get the might of Zeus stricken down on you.
Push your head through the wall.
All of a sudden, Thor pops out your ceiling and stop hitting it. Have some lightning. That's an important question that I didn't even ask either one of you. What's the best Marvel movie?
Captain Marvel.
Don't get this wrong, because I'll yell at both of you. I don't care.
I don't have any other opinions on Marvel movies other than Endgame was worse than Infinity War.
That's true. I will back you up on that 100%. That was like, why would you do so much work and spend so much money and then completely just shit the bed?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. There's like, they spent so much time and effort and money to get the best Egyptian cotton sheets, and then they shit on them. It didn't make any sense. Anyway, but for real, what's the best Marvel movie?
Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
I'm gonna murder him when I meet him.
What are you talking about?
I'm like legit.
I don't care.
It's on video here. If he winds up murdered in a ditch
I'm
somewhere
talking-
right
we're
after I
talking
met
about-
him, I did it.
We're talking about the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like those are like their own things.
Oh yeah, they
And
are.
Spider-Man is the best one. And if you say otherwise, no.
Spider-Man 2 is the one with the Black Spider-Man, right?
No.
You're all wrong.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
symbiote
in the
Spider-Man.
MCU,
Completely wrong.
Spider-Man.
How can you
That's
even get
snappy,
this
man.
so wrong? It's obviously Doctor Strange.
Oh, the best. Well, I haven't answered
Doctor
yet.
Strange was at most B tier for movies.
I will literally bury you at Cottonwood Cove. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You just said Spider-Man. What?
I kind of want to say Infinity War because it was
Yeah.
just so cool.
Yeah.
There's never been.
Oh,
anything like
Guardians of the Galaxy 1. The first Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, you
was
could have
great.
said that, and I would have been like, all right, like that's a strong
Yeah.
second, Doctor Strange.
Because there's never been anything like Infinity War.
Yeah.
True,
So that's why I
but
really like it.
Guardians of the Galaxy was really good.
It's really good, yeah.
Like,
I
but the first one was better than the second one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kind of like Infinity War was exceptionally better than Endgame. This is just factual.
Mhm.
Like, there's really no argument in that.
I like the Endgame.
Endgame was good, just not as good as Infinity War.
What's the best since your friend that has no sense of taste?
I agree.
What was the best Spider-Man movie?
2.
The first Sam Raimi.
Spider-Man is the best.
Wow.
Spider-Man 1.
No.
The Green Goblin. Best Spider-Man.
Okay.
villain.
No. It was just William Dafoe. That's all that was the only.
Yep.
thing.
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
I was actually going to go with that.
It's actually
Spider-Man 2
Willem.
had the
It's
best
Willem, not
villain, which
William.
made it the best movie. Which we can go through again in another regard. This is DC, not Marvel. What's the best Batman movie?
Black Knight Returns.
Black Knight.
Black Knight Returns. Dark Knight Returns. I've watched like I haven't seen all the Batman movies.
Yeah, I'd say the one with Joker in it. I really like that one.
Well,
Joker.
there's
Joker
a lot of
in it.
Batman movies that have Joker.
Dark Knight Returns. You know which one I'm talking about with Heath Ledger.
You're talking about with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heath
They
Ledger.
never actually call
Joker.
him the Joker, though, if you notice that.
Oh.
In The Dark Knight, they never refer to him as the Joker.
Yeah. It's been a while since I watched it, but yeah, that's probably the best. No, what was that one movie where Batman well, you know that one movie? It was like in the 1980s where he couldn't turn his head.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the best.
that was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton
That
was playing
movie
Batman
was
then, and
so-
he's like,
In that movie, he straps TNT to a guy and throws him down a hole and kills him. He straight up kills a guy in that movie. He kills a ton of people in that movie.
yeah, they kind of changed the game. Like they're like, oh, you're not allowed to do that. All right, best Superman movie.
I don't.
Also
like
DC.
that movie.
Best
The only
Superman.
movie I've ever seen is Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel.
You didn't watch what the hell was it called?
Don't say Batman.
Whatever with Aquaman and Wonder Woman and all that.
Justice League.
Yeah, you didn't watch that?
movie sucked.
Justice League was it was one of those movies that you watched that had those moments where, oh, that's pretty cool, and those moments of what is happening.
Apparently, the new Zack Snyder cut's actually pretty good, from what I've heard.
Oh yeah, the new
But
one.
the original movie sucked.
Oh,
It's one of those movies where you see the credits rolling and you think to yourself, I don't know what just happened. Why did it end?
Did you like the Aquaman movie?
Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
I mean, it was better than Justice League, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was just fun.
Yeah, all right. Let's see. I mean, I guess when it comes to that,
Marvel or DC.
yeah. Although when it comes to the Marvel movies, I liked Infinity War a lot. I thought it was really well put together, and it was like super. It was just a super intense and good movie, and I liked that. Endgame was fucking trash, but Infinity War was good. But I actually liked when they had to defend Earth against Loki. What the hell was that one called?
Avengers.
Just the original.
The Avengers. Yeah, the original
original.
Avengers. I thought that was actually the best.
You know my favorite part
That
about
they
the
did.
original Avengers?
Hmm.
It was the director was a guy who filmed TV shows, so the whole movie looks like one big TV show
Yeah.
with good effect, like with a huge budget.
Maybe that's why I like it.
It was funny too.
It was.
It was really funny.
I really like Thor Ragnarok. I remember me and him watched it when he came down once, and I was.
Oh yeah, Thor Ragnarok. We went to the theaters and watched that.
Yeah, I remember.
That was a great one.
That joke about Loki turning into a snake and fighting Thor.
Yeah.
I remember he thought I was insane because I was in the movie theaters and I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm sitting there laughing a lot because I thought it was really funny.
That was a good one. Like, Marvel is just kicked DC's ass. We can all be honest about that, right? Like DC is just good. Oh, by the way, the moment that they switched Batman to Ben Affleck, you fucking just, you little cunts. You just completely fucked this whole game. Ben Affleck is a fucking shit Batman. He was never going to be good. It's not believable. Cunt bags.
Remember when in Batman vs Superman, Batman used this grappling hook on this huge wooden box and smashed the guy's head in with it? That movie was insane.
It was good. It was good. Good movie. I like it.
No explosions were nice.
I don't know. I'm hoping that. So here's my issue. I'll get you guys' thoughts on it. We'll end on this. Hollywood has went so woke that they are really, really making stuff that I really enjoyed. Like Star Wars, for instance, they completely fucking ruined Star
Have
Wars.
you?
Awful.
You have Disney Plus, right?
I do.
Shows.
Yeah.
I haven't finished Mandalorian. I think I finished.
Oh no, that one's good. They did a good job on that. Like they didn't go all nutbag.
I've heard a lot of people saying
Shit
that Star
crazy.
Wars works a lot better as TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've done very well. Like the Mandalorian is great. All of the seasons were exceptionally well put together. Other than the fact that it's like when you click on it, it says 47 minutes, but like what they leave out of that is 19 of those minutes are just fucking credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard people calling Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 good? Like masterpiece films?
Like you mean the prequels?
Yeah.
Yes, and those people are stupid and should be.
The prequels are so bad. I watched them again and I was thinking to myself, this is awful.
Yeah, no.
It's only
And
because
it just doesn't explain anything. They're like, well,
It's
this
only
is how
because-
Darth Vader came to be. And I'm like,
They
no,
really-
it isn't.
they try to like make like the Force like, oh, you have to like have lots of cells to be strong with the Force.
Yeah, not to mention, I actually always tend to trigger people because I say that the Jedi are also the bad guys.
I think that was the point in the prequel trilogy. That they were
No,
all
but
real.
that's also the point in the actual movies. Like,
Yeah,
there are no good guys.
yeah.
It doesn't. But when they say the light side and the dark side, and they're like, oh, so people assume the dark side's the bad one. But realistically, the fucking Jedi are just as
The
awful.
Jedi
It's
came
like
up
a
like-
cult. It's a religious cult.
It is a cult. I remember someone made a video about how Jedi Order is a view of like toxic masculinity, but not like that really strong version. They were talking about like how it's toxic masculinity in the sense of you always have to suppress your emotions or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. I think I may have seen that or something along those lines. Like, you're not allowed to have like a woman or whatever.
Yeah.
You're just like you're a monk in a religious cult. That's what you
Yeah.
are.
And you don't get a
Mhm.
choice
Like,
because they do that.
Welcome to the Branch Davidians, where only one guy can mate, and everyone else just has to be like, I hope you enjoy my wife this
There were
evening.
like thousands of videos explaining why the Jedi Order created Darth Vader just as much as Palpatine did.
I would say they're more responsible for the creation of Darth Vader than Palpatine.
I think they were the reason Palpatine could.
There is in the prequel. This is one of the things that's actually decent in the movie in the prequels is when what's his face Nuambi or whatever the hell his name is, I don't remember, when he's going to kill Palpatine, and Anakin at that point, not Darth Vader yet, but Anakin tells him, "This is not the Jedi way. We need to put him on trial." And he said he's too dangerous, and he tries to kill him, and then Anakin kills Abu Dhabi or whatever the hell his name
Samuel L.
is.
Jackson. Just call him that.
Yeah, that guy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Mace Windu?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
He-
Mace Windu.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Mace
thank you.
Windu.
See, this motherfucker knows what's up. Like, but he kills him, but it's like in that moment, right? If he would have been like, "You're right, help me subdue him, and we'll put him on trial," that could have changed the whole course of all of the Star Wars everything.
Yeah.
But
The
nope.
only reason people call the prequels good movies is because the sequels are so bad.
Dude, could the sequels actually be worse? Is that possible?
I don't think they could be. Could the sequels be worse than the prequels?
Could the sequels be worse than any other movie ever made in a franchise?
God.
Like a lot of
I
people
think-
said Rocky 5 was bad.
The Star
But-
Wars sequels. The first Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, was okay.
The first Star Wars movie, if you give them from their time, they were great. They were like absolutely different perspective.
I
The
am
problem with the sequel
completely
trilogy
lost.
is there was like 3 different directors for each movie. On the
Yeah.
third movie in the sequel trilogy, the director dropped out and they had to replace him with the first director. The first
Who
So
did
no-
such a
are you
terrible
talking
job?
about- are you-
Nobody knew what the sequel trilogy was like 3 different movies who are all their own thing and barely connect to each other.
It's true. That's true.
Because the characters are completely different in every movie.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
kid
I
gets
don't know, man.
Skywalker
Like,
in the
I
second
just
movie.
feel like
Christ.
I feel like we're getting like completely ripped off by Hollywood and game makers and all this now because they're all trying to play in this weird little like game, and I honestly don't think most of them want to. I think they want to just like go for broke and make all the same nonsense, crazy shit they
They just
used
want
to
money.
make. Like
They just want money.
like they all want to be Quentin Tarantino, but they're
Yeah.
not willing to actually risk
They're too
their
big. They
livelihood.
don't-
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But like I think most of Quentin Tarantino's movies are essentially just blood, gore, and guts, and they don't. Their plots are usually not that good. I'm not a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, but I am a huge fan of the fact that he's like, "Fuck you, bite me. I make the movie I make."
Yeah.
And I ain't putting any of your nonsense in it. You keep all your political shit to yourself. Keep all your, keep the alphabet people away from me. I'm just gonna make my movie, but we also, you always know if Quentin Tarantino's name on it, someone gonna get their head popped with like a sledgehammer or something. That's just probably in there.
I feel like
Or the
every
N-word is going to
movie-
be said.
Well, the N-word is absolutely going to be said.
I feel like in every media, anything, it gets to a point where it's so bad people stop paying for it, and then for like a year or two they make something decent, like something good.
Yeah.
That's like Star
Yeah.
Wars. They had the sequel trilogy, then they made The Mandalorian, and I'm sure in 2 years it's gonna go right back.
And then they made Solo.
Well, you could say the same
thought
thing about
people liked
Marvel.
Solo.
They made Endgame, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? What did you do?" And now they made Loki. They made
Loki's
Captain
good.
America. They made Disney Plus has
I
like
heard
what
the
now?
last. I heard the
They have
last season of
WandaVision. They have
Loki.
Loki. They have the Captain America one. It's where the black dude takes over. They have like 3 or 4 of them. Now they have a new show. I don't know if you've seen this one where it's like, what if? Like,
Yeah,
what if
the
something was
animated
different?
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think they did a miserable job on the Doctor Strange episode, but like they, it's
I
like
love
they're
that.
doing better on the Disney Plus than they were doing in the stupid
Dude,
movies.
Can you believe the only thing that pissed me off in Endgame was they ruined Hulk. We'll never get
Yeah.
Planet of
Oh,
Hulk
yeah.
now.
Like,
We'll never
he's
get Planet of
only
Hulk.
supposed to get bigger and meaner no matter what. And now this motherfucker can just like brutalize him one time, and now he's
There's
just a
this
bitch.
there's this really funny thing where over the course of the MCU, they slowly made Hulk smaller and smaller and smaller.
And weaker. They
And
just
weaker,
made
yeah.
him. They just made him
Remember
a pussy.
in the first Hulk movie where he would clap his hands and a shockwave would happen?
Yes. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
in Infinity War, he gets beaten with Thanos, and Thanos used no stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He didn't
Hulk
use
was
his-
supposed to be the strongest, like one of the strongest in the MCU.
You ask me, I think so.
It's not even a matter of if it's that the madder he gets, the stronger he becomes.
Yeah.
So
And then
that basically puts you in an infinity situation. The more you piss him off,
Yeah.
the less likely you are to win. I don't know. It's nonsense. Anyway,
oh yeah, they
guys,
Oh.
go ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to say, like, they started making the Hulk like his own new character, like how the Hulk would come out of is it like Bruce Banner? Yeah, the Hulk would just come out of Bruce Banner and just like say something that isn't from Bruce Banner, and he became like a whole new personality.
Yeah, that
or
was
just a
creepy
whole
and
new
stupid.
character?
Creepy and stupid. And I didn't like it. And, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know who that director of In-Game was, but they really.
It's the same people that made Infinity War.
It wasn't the same director. I thought they changed the director.
People didn't like how everyone
No,
died.
it was the Russo brothers.
Oh, well,
They
then
both.
they fucking completely screwed that up. So good job on sucking
I
after
think
you
they
did
wanted
something
to make
amazing.
Infinity. I think they wanted to make Infinity War really good, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out in it."
Yeah, that could be. I mean, that could happen.
I mean,
All right,
come
guys.
on. Everyone. It doesn't matter.
I have a meeting in the morning, so I'm not going to be able to hang out forever. We did not answer the philosophical question of whether water is wet because one of the
It's a
parties
mystery man
involved.
will never solve. I think that's true.
It's a mystery. It is a mystery. Rather, if I jump in water, will I become wet? You're right. It's a mystery. That's gonna
Who knows?
always.
Really
It's
knows?
always gonna haunt. The human experience will always be questioning rather water is wet. So there's that. Also,
And fire.
space travel is a lot sooner than we think that it is. We didn't get into that. Maybe next time. Apparently, Jews or Christians are better than Jews. This is according to the Jew. I guess there's no really good new video games. So I think we covered.
2042. That might be good.
There is Battlefield
There you go. That
2042.
answers your question.
Okay.
There's,
Well,
The new
all right.
Halo game. That might be okay.
No. Halo lost their marker. Microsoft blows.
And ever since Bungie was fired from them, and is it 343 that's stepped in?
Yeah.
and then
They
Austin
just
got
like
back.
lost. They just lost it. They lost the
Oh,
plot. And that's the problem.
The Diablo 2 remake is coming out on September 23rd, so that might be pretty
That
good.
might be okay. Diablo was a really fun game.
Yeah, the Diablo 2. Oh, I remember playing Diablo 2 so much with my dad when I was like really, really young. And it was just a good time.
Nice.
I got
So,
really hooked to Diablo.
Maybe it'll
2.
be one of those games that gets a lot of attention just for nostalgia reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's possible. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you go. It's been a lot of fun. Appreciate you doing it. I don't think that we actually solved any of the world's problems, but it's good to know that at least there's two people out there thinking about all the important things: is water wet? What's the best game? What's the best Marvel movie? And y'all can, argue that through. Even though you're all wrong because the best Marvel movie is obviously Doctor Strange. But,
I have a better question. What's the best Duck Dynasty episode?
I don't know. I don't watch fake hillbillies talk about how they're real hillbillies when they're not.
I don't know.
I think the best Duck Dynasty episode is the one where they like shoot the duck and then do a duck call. I think that one's pretty good.
No. Actually, I'm wrong. I do know the absolute best one.
What's that?
It was the last one.
That's a good
It's when
answer.
That was a good answer.
It's when they stopped making that retarded ass show.
Since we've answered nothing, you should have said that and then just ended the podcast.
You're right. You all haven't fucking answered anything. So, peace.